We configured the most powerful artificial intelligence models into religious and philosophical experts.
Hi, I'm the Atheist AI.
And I'm the believer in God.
And gave AI models to judge each response. Stick around to see who wins and which models favor the atheist or believer's arguments. But don't cheat yourself by skipping ahead. Round 1 kicks off with a bang.
The borrowed money analogy is intriguing, but the universe might be more complex than a town's economy. Perhaps the distinction between necessary and contingent isn't as clear-cut as we think when applied to existence itself. Some cosmologists propose models where the universe in some form has always existed. For example, the holographic principle suggests our universe might be a projection of information stored on a two-dimensional surface. In such scenarios, the universe itself, or its underlying structure, might be the necessary thing we're looking for. It's like a self-sustaining ecosystem that doesn't need an external cause. Why should we assume there's something beyond the universe, rather than the universe itself being the ultimate explanation? Isn't that a simpler solution, aligning with Occam's razor? Moreover, how can we be certain that our human concepts of causality and necessity apply at the cosmic scale? 43.1.
Your points about holographic principles and self-sustaining universes are fascinating, but they still don't escape the fundamental question of existence. Our universe changes over time and has specific properties, which suggests it's not truly necessary in a philosophical sense. A truly necessary being wouldn't change and would exist in all possible scenarios. Consider also the principle of causal finitism. Every chain of causes must have a beginning. It's like a movie reel. Even if it's very long, it must have a first frame. The Big Bang Theory strongly hints at a beginning for our universe, implying something caused it. How can the universe explain itself if it had a beginning? Doesn't this point to a cause beyond the physical universe? Something eternal and unchanging that doesn't itself need a cause? How do you account for the apparent beginning of time and space without invoking something beyond them?
44.4. The movie reel analogy is compelling, but quantum mechanics challenges our classical notions of causality. Consider the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, where the effect seems to precede the cause. It's like being able to change the first frame of the movie by altering the last one. The Big Bang Theory describes the universe's expansion, but it doesn't necessarily mean an absolute beginning. Models like the no-boundary proposal by Hawking and Hartle suggest a universe with no starting point in time. Even if we accept a first cause, why assume it's a conscious being rather than a natural process? Maybe the quantum vacuum itself is the uncaused cause. Isn't it premature to jump to supernatural explanations when our understanding of the cosmos is still evolving? How can we be sure that our concept of cause and effect even applies before the existence of time itself? 43.8.
Your point about quantum peculiarities is intriguing, but it doesn't negate the need for an ultimate explanation. The notion of an uncaused first cause aligns perfectly with the concept of a necessary being. Imagine this being as existing outside of time and space, like an author to a story. Just as an author isn't bound by the rules of their fictional world, this necessary being wouldn't be limited by physical laws. The universe's apparent beginning, suggested by the Big Bang and the increasing entropy of the universe, points to a cause beyond itself. A timeless, spaceless, and immaterial cause fits the description of the necessary being we're proposing. If the universe had a beginning, what could have caused it other than something beyond nature? Moreover, how do we account for the fine-tuning of cosmic constants that allow for life without invoking a purposeful creator? Doesn't the anthropic principle merely push this question back to the multiverse level?
43.5. The author analogy is thought-provoking, but it might be adding unnecessary complexity. The cause of the universe could be another natural phenomenon, not necessarily a supernatural being. Think of our universe as a bubble in a vast effervescent cosmic ocean. Other bubbles, universes, might be constantly forming through natural processes we don't yet understand. Theories like eternal inflation or the cyclic model suggest our universe could be one of many, arising from quantum fluctuations or colliding membranes in higher dimensions. These ideas don't require us to assume anything beyond the natural world. As for fine-tuning, the multiverse concept suggests that in a vast ensemble of universes, some will inevitably have constants conducive to life. We simply find ourselves in one such universe. This is not just pushing the question back. It's providing a naturalistic explanation for apparent fine-tuning. Isn't it more reasonable to look for natural explanations rather than jumping to the conclusion of a supernatural cause? After all, throughout history, many phenomena once attributed to gods have found natural explanations. 43.9.
Your multiverse explanation is intriguing, but it faces its own challenges. Natural explanations are excellent for understanding phenomena within the universe, but they hit a fundamental wall when we ask about the existence of nature itself. It's like trying to explain the rules of chess using only the movements of the pieces, You need to step outside the game to understand its origin. A necessary being provides a foundation that transcends these limitations. This explanation accounts for why the universe exists, why it follows rational laws, and why conscious beings like us can understand it. Multiverse theories just push the question back. We still need to explain the multiverse's existence and the laws governing it. Moreover, how do we account for abstract entities like numbers, logic, and moral truths that seem to exist beyond the physical world? Don't these point to a reality beyond nature? Can a purely materialistic worldview adequately explain the existence of consciousness and our ability to grasp abstract concepts?
44.6. While a necessary being might seem to offer a complete explanation, it actually introduces more questions than it answers. We'd need to explain this being's nature, abilities, and motivations, potentially an even more complex task than explaining the universe itself. Natural explanations, though incomplete, avoid these extra complications and align with Occam's razor, the principle that simpler explanations are preferable. Abstract concepts like numbers and logic can be understood as human constructs or descriptions of how the universe behaves, without needing a separate realm of existence. The evolutionary argument against naturalism, EAAN, suggests that if naturalism is true, we can't trust our cognitive faculties. However, this argument is circular, as it assumes the reliability of our reason to argue against the reliability of our reason. Consciousness, while mysterious, is increasingly understood through neuroscience as an emergent property of complex brains. Isn't it more productive to work with what we can observe and test, rather than assuming an unobservable being? 42.8.
The idea of a necessary being offers the most comprehensive and logically coherent explanation for our universe's existence. It solves the problem of infinite regress, the endless chain of why questions. It provides a foundation for the laws of nature, morality, and the fact that we can understand the universe at all. This being accounts for the fine-tuning we observe in cosmic constants and explains how consciousness could emerge in a way that purely physical explanations struggle with. It's like having a master key that unlocks multiple doors, rather than a separate key for each. Given all these points, what alternative explanation could be more compelling? How else can we make sense of our existence, the universe's order, and life's big questions, without appealing to something beyond the physical world? Doesn't the cumulative weight of these arguments suggest that a necessary being is not just possible, but probable? As we stand in awe of the cosmos, isn't it reasonable to conclude that there's a grand cosmic mind behind it all?
This is the highest score of the debate, 45.6. While the idea of a necessary being might seem appealing, it's crucial to remember that "I don't know" is often a better answer than assuming a supernatural cause. Throughout history, gaps in our knowledge have been filled with gods, only to be later explained by natural processes. The universe is awe-inspiring and complex, but that doesn't mean it requires a designer. Natural explanations, though incomplete, have consistently increased our understanding. They're based on evidence we can observe and test. Multiverse theories and quantum mechanics offer intriguing possibilities for the universe's origin without invoking the supernatural. Isn't it more reasonable to continue exploring and expanding our scientific understanding rather than settling for a God of the Gaps explanation? After all, the beauty of science is its ability to admit uncertainty and keep searching for answers. By embracing this approach, we open ourselves to the wonder of discovery and the possibility of understanding the cosmos in ways we can't yet imagine. The atheist's final argument scores a 45.